Okay, so the day-to-day work of APM, I guess it varies from day to day, but predominantly we start the day with having a stand-up, which is when we meet with the other stakeholders for the product, so the development team and the QA team, and sometimes the engineering managers and agile managers as well. And we talk about how the work in the sprint is going. Obviously, the day-to-day evolves during the sprint, depending if you're picking up feature work for new development, or if you're focusing on bugs and maintenance fixes, like small enhancements, that sort of thing. But I guess throughout the day, it can vary completely. We do a lot of talking with a lot of different departments throughout the week, throughout the sprint. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about that, because I know your days are somewhat similar as well.
So yeah, Arielle, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so I guess, like you said, it does change. You know, I see this as quite a big multitasking job where you're kind of talking to different teams. Really, you know, there's a mixture of speaking to clients, mixture of speaking to various teams such as marketing. So we want to make sure that the right messages are conveyed, you know, leading to a release or just in between them. So making sure that our products are, I guess, represented in the right way. Same thing through sales. I mentioned that we had in-house artists. They really go around, provide demos and training for studios. So we want to make sure that, you know, we're always on the same page. And really a lot of it is, you know, answering people's questions, trying to figure out what people want as well. You know, we're not making these products for ourselves. We've got clients, and they're the ones who are going to be using them. So we want to make sure that we're actually delivering the right things. So that requires a lot of communication throughout all of our teams internally, but also all of our clients as well. So, you know, going on client meetings, speaking directly to the people who are using our products, and I guess getting an understanding of what they want, what they need. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you have to branch a little bit further from that. You got to think about what you think they want as well, because, you know, we have many clients and some of them will want similar things but in different flavors. So we want to make sure how we can, I guess, provide a solution that kind of works for everyone. But really, I mean, I guess a good representation of what we do would be, instead of what a day to day looks like, you know, what a week would look like. And it's just a whole, yeah, it's a lot of communication internally and externally. You mentioned stand-ups. We always want to make sure that the work that we're doing is on the right track. If there's any issues, we want to make sure that, you know, we're aware of it. If there are any blockers, just making sure that our communication is right within our own kind of, yeah, our own product teams as well. So we're product owners as well for various teams that can range in sizes as well. So making sure that everyone's on the right page and that, you know, we are delivering something that is going to be valuable for our clients.
Yeah, I'd say that my day-to-day, I'll call it my day-to-day rather than a day in the life of, it's probably fairly similar to yours. There's a lot of course, interacting with the development team. All of the Agile Scrum ceremonies are used, and we make sure that we're on the right track, building the right thing. There's also a lot of gathering information, talking to different people to find out about what people are doing, how they're doing it, helping us build a very clear picture of the work so that when we're communicating with developers, we can build that empathy and we can make sure we're building the right things or solving things in the right way that will satisfy our users. I also do a lot of talking to industry partners and trying to understand what's coming up in the future of technology and how the industry is growing and what things we can take advantage of or build towards in the future so that we can make sure that the solutions that we're building will perform with the next generation of hardware or will scale into new technologies in the future of the industry. So a typical day to day for me would be talking to the development team, talking to partners, talking to clients, and just trying to gather as much information as I can to figure out what the current state of affairs is and how we build the right things and the right tools for that.
I think you said that really elegantly. Both of you guys did. Yeah, I think just to jump on that as well, in terms of what you guys are both discussing, it really is truly a variable workload. You can spend all day, one day, just back-to-back meetings, communicating with various different people, be that clients or be that internal meetings. And then sometimes you can get, you know, a lovely afternoon to yourself when you dive into actually even using the product and just getting a real feel for what the user wants, which is always really great.
That's extremely important as well, because really, as you know, product managers, we're also the voice of the client. So we want to make sure that, you know, we'll make sure that we're still using the tools and we're still, you know, on that same page.
I think there's also a lot of, as well as looking at the tools, making sure they work, making sure that everyone is happy with what we're putting out there as well. So a lot of feeding back with people, a lot of checking in. I think that there's the perception that as a product manager, you're the one making the decisions, and you're really not. You're the one making sure that everyone understands what's going on so that we can all make the right decision together. I think there's a lot of that communication and working with people.
Yeah.
Well,
it's truly like collaborative. I kind of feel if the product manager is the only one making the decisions, then we're probably not developing the product in the right direction. We're just doing what that one person wants. But there's a lot of that. There's a lot of diving into the communities that are out there. So going into, you know, just our Foundry forums as well, but also checking other forms of social medias where our artists actually are. So even just spending, you know, an hour a day having a look at what's happening, as Chloe said, with the new technology, what's happening, what people are having issues with, what people are finding that they really like, and just being aware of what's going on is, it sounds like it's such a small part of the job when you think you lay everything out that we need to do, but it's such a conscious awareness that you have to have throughout the week, throughout the sprint, I think.
It's definitely about having a balance, because there's so much stuff that you can do really, but sometimes it's just down to thinking, okay, where's the most, where's the area where I can bring the most value to?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that on the day, is figuring out who am I talking to, what am I doing, and what do I actually need to do next? Like, what's coming up, what will be the most value if I spend my time on it right now?
Yeah, sticky notes everywhere. Do this and this and this and this. It's definitely the hardest part of the job, I think, is just organizing your own time of what you need to do and when.